When most people think about Dune, they think about sandworms, spice, and the planet Arrakis. But the truth is, Dune may be the largest story ever told in science fiction. Not because of explosions or space battles, but because of its scope. A story that spans 10,000 years of history, thousands of planets, and the future evolution of humanity itself. Today, I want to explore the scope of Dune. Most science fiction stories operate at the scale of a planet, and Dune begins exactly there. Arrakis is not just a setting, it is an entire ecological system. Frank Herbert designed a desert world, a unique food chain, sandworms, spice production, Fremen survival culture. The story begins with a simple premise. Who controls the desert controls the spice, and who controls the spice controls the universe. But Herbert was doing something deeper. He was showing that ecology drives politics, and from that small planetary seed, the story expands. Soon, we discover that Arrakis is only one planet among thousands. The spice melange powers interstellar travel, the spacing guild, prescient navigation. Without spice, the entire galactic civilization collapses. So the conflict of Dune isn't just local politics. It becomes a galactic power struggle between House Atreides, House Harkonnen, many other houses, both major and minor, the Emperor, the Spacing Guild, the Bene Gesserit, and many other groups. And Arrakis becomes the center of the universe. And even that isn't the true scope. When Paul Atreides rises to power, the scale explodes again. The Fremen jihad spreads beyond the galaxy. Billions die. Entire planets are reshaped by religious revolution. What began as desert survival becomes a story about how belief can reshape civilization. Frank Herbert was asking a terrifying question. What happens when a Messiah figure gains real political power? But Herbert still isn't finished, because the true scale of Dune is not about planets or empires. It is about time. By the time we reach God Emperor of Dune, the timeline has stretched thousands of years. Leto II rules for 3,500 years, not as a human being, but as something new, a hybrid of man and sandworm. His goal is not power, it is the survival of the human race. Leto II forces humanity down what he calls the golden path, a future where humanity spreads so far across the universe that no single disaster can ever destroy it. In other words, the story of Dune becomes the story of humanity's long-term survival as a species. So when we talk about the scope of Dune, we're not just talking about a desert planet. We're talking about a story that explores ecology, religion, politics, evolution, and the very destiny of humanity across thousands of worlds and thousands of years. Very few science fiction stories attempt something this ambitious, and even fewer succeed at it, which is why 60 years later, Dune still feels larger than life. But what do you think? Is Dune the most ambitious science fiction story ever written? And if not, what other one compares? Thank you so much for watching, and as always, keep exploring the deeper wonder.